Welcome back everybody, it's DestinysJesus here. I've had a lot of comments and just people asking me what I think the best settings are for kind of visibility, and also something this season which I'm struggling with as well, what I have been struggling with, now I've kind of fixed it, is keeping track of somebody in a box when they're jumping around and you're kind of trading tack shots, or you just need to hit that close range shot. It's so hard to keep track of people, especially because there's something like weird light things on, like when it comes to dawn or when it comes to night, the brightness really messes up and it's very awkward for box fighting. So these are the settings that I'm running just to make sure that I have the best visibility as possible and tracking people at close range and 3 builds, which is super important. So whack your brightness down 5% from 100 to 95. This is really nice just because it's not kind of overbearing, and it also means you can play for longer without having to worry about your brightness being too much and you're getting sore eyes, which is pretty nice. Colorblind off as well is super important. There's no real good colorblind setting this season. Protanope is somewhat decent if you're used to it, have it kind of washes out the colors a bit too much at long range. And also make sure you turn off Deuteranope. Deuteranope is absolutely awful this Storm at the moment. Now when it comes to your Nvidia settings, these are things that I found are really nice just to make sure every single color at close range pops. So make sure this is on all channels first of all. Select your correct monitor that you want to be affecting this to. And then you want to go ahead and keep the brightness the same. Whack up the contrast somewhere between 5 to 10%. I just like it going up to plus 55, so 50% is the default. This means it's not too overbearing and it's still very easy and clear. When it comes to brick builds and metal builds, it does make a drastic difference. Keep gamma at the same level, and then what you want to go ahead and do is whack up your digital vibrancy. This is an old trick from CSGO that players would do on all different sorts of maps. It's just increase their digital vibrancy. It makes the colors of the hitboxes and the players you're fighting so much more different and vibrant compared to the backgrounds, so it's so much easier to track. What you can go ahead and do is whack it up somewhere between 5 to 10%, or you can even go ahead and whack it up further. Okay, so the general idea whenever you're box fighting or just trying to use digital vibrancy to get an advantage, it's just the fact the opponent will stand out more compared to whatever they're standing against. So let's say here I'm dropping down, the opponent is very clear and visible where he is because he stands out so much. Let's say he pulls out his pickaxe, it's very obvious where exactly he is because his pickaxe is so vibrant compared to everything else in the box. This is also very useful. Let's say I'm going to exploit in just like this. Now when I jump in, I've got a really good idea of where he is, and it's very hard to lose track of him. Might not seem like the biggest deal, but trust me, if you do these changes and you actually notice it, you will notice a massive difference in how easy it is to track somebody close range when they're in your face just like this, and it's quite hard normally to keep up with them just because you'll see them a lot clearer. Also, the really nice benefit of this is long range visibility. So here I can easily see where my opponent is exactly, just because of how vibrant his pickaxe is, as well as it's just default. Whatever skin he's using will always stand out a lot more compared to the background, especially in like really washed out areas like the desert. It's normally quite hard to spot people. This is what your game's going to look like in a more built up area like Dirty Docks. Obviously the grass is a lot more green. You'll be able to spot things really clearly, like items when you're gliding in as well, which is pretty useful. Players in bushes will be more visible. Players in kind of close areas like this where the contrast difference and vibrancy is super useful. Also it's pretty useful for spotting llamas on the battle bus. Like you can just see llamas from a really distance away just because they stand out a lot more and they're a lot more vibrant.